All right, let's see how well I did the in framing for these shot. That didn't make sense. Howdy do, guitar gang. Since I've started doing guitar content here on this channel pretty regularly, we've looked at a decent number of like newer guitars, like new Epiphones, my brand new Gibson, the Schecter Reaper, SG Prophecy, and at the very least stuff that was new to me, like that 2014 Epiphone Les Paul Custom, or even my PRS 7-string. But what we haven't really talked about a whole lot on this channel is the guitars that I had before I started making guitar content. I mean, hell, before I started making content, period. What do the thoughts say? Period. And they've got some pretty fun stories. Today, I figured we'd talk about my very first Gibson, which is a 2014 Les Paul Studio. So this is Blair. Yes, I like to name my guitars, and I named her after the girl that I got a tattoo of. I know, I am a child. But yeah, this is Blair. And this year I think she turned 8 years old, which is nuts. Now, Blair's backstory. I think I started playing guitar in like 7th grade, and by the time I was a senior, so like 6 years or something, I don't know, I can't do math. But by the time I was a senior, I believe I had like 8 or so guitars. And that may sound impressive, but it wasn't. My best one was like an Epiphone Zakk Wylde Les Paul, and that guitar neck was too big. I know everybody's grandpa is always like, if your guitar neck doesn't have the same radius as the sun, then you're a bitch. I really can't with guitar necks that are too big. Yeah, the dick on that, the neck on that Epiphone Zakk Wylde was just too much. Oh, I'm an idiot. But anyway, back then when I was a kid, my guitar habits really projected something, which was that I didn't want to be myself, apparently. Because every guitar that I wanted was like someone's signature guitar. Like I wanted SRV's #1. I wanted Randy Rhoads' Les Paul Custom. I wanted James Hetfield's Iron Cross. I wanted every single guitar that Kirk Hammett had. Like just imagine a signature guitar. Like in your head. Just close your eyes and think about a signature guitar. Think really hard. You got one in your head? I probably wanted it. The only problem was a lot of signature guitars were out of my price range. And so what I decided to do is I would ask for a really cheap guitar for like my birthday or for Christmas, and I would try my best to turn it into someone's signature guitar. So like one year for my birthday, I got a Jackson Dinky, and I tried to turn it into a Kirk Hammett Ouija. I got another one, and I tried to turn it into a Kirk Hammett Mummy. And then a couple years after that, I got these 2 like project guitars that were set up to be like Frankenstrats. Oh yeah, and then my very first like real electric guitar was a BC Rich Kerry King V, because I didn't know what taste was back then. And that guitar was cheeks. That guitar was awful. I don't know what it was, but like one day it just popped up in my head. It was like, you have like everyone's signature guitar, but you don't have a guitar that's like your own. And I thought about that for a little bit, and I was like, shit, Grandma, you're right. And then also around that time, I was gawking at Gibsons, like I would always do. And this was like right at the beginning of 2014, and right when like all the new Les Pauls for that year came out. And I was looking for the cheapest Gibson Les Paul that still had like the Les Paul standard or custom set, you know, like 2 humbuckers, none of this P90 damn ass shit. Nothing against P90s, that's just not what I wanted. And then I found the Studios, which are like a real bare bones version of a Les Paul. And then my brain farted out a little idea, and it told me, you've got all these signature guitars that you don't play because they're not the best quality. What if you sold them, and what if it ended up being enough for you to get one of these Les Paul Studios? That way you'd have one really good guitar that was like your guitar. It would solve like 3 problems all at once. And the next thing you know, I had them all listed on Craigslist. And then within like a few weeks, I did end up selling all of them, and I ended up having enough money, and I don't remember if I ordered it from Musician's Friend or Sweetwater or whatever have you, but I ended up getting one of my own. And this was the very first guitar that I ever got that didn't need a setup. She came set up perfect. And then shortly after that, I got my EC1000, which is another very important guitar to me. I think a video talking about that is going to be the next guitar video I make. But then this and that EC1000 ended up being like the only 2 guitars I played for like the next 6 years or whatever. I don't know how, until like 2020 when I finally decided to start buying other guitars again. And one thing I really like about this guitar is since it's got that nitro finish, you're really starting to be able to see how much I played this guitar, and it's really starting to like relic and wear and age. Like I've got my road worn Telecaster that I've like heavy reliced artificially over time, but this is like all natural aging, and as much as I hate to admit it, it feels a lot cooler. Like, it's so cool to know that like this was aged just because I played it so much. And one of my absolute favorite things is how the neck is aged. It's just all worn in right there. I don't know how that happened, but it's like, it's not like a chip or anything. It's like smooth. And then just all this other wear and tear from it rubbing on my body or me bumping it around somewhere. And then I also love that it's a blue Les Paul, because my favorite color is blue. If you didn't already know that, you must be new here. But it was like the stars aligned. Before this, I don't think Gibson made like an affordable blue guitar. And I know that there's like other blue Les Pauls. There's those Blueberry Bursts. There's like the Blue Widows, and like there's those Manhattan Midnight Classics. But you don't really see a whole lot of Manhattan Midnight Studios. I think the only other one I've ever seen out in the wild, other than like the one review video, is this one guy in one of the Gibson Facebook groups I'm in has one too. But yeah, it's just a really unique guitar. And since it was part of the 120th anniversary, it's got the 120th anniversary inlay. These guitars are like all unique, like how the silk screen and then the plastics are like this darker color of cream. This thing still plays insane. And I kind of forgot about that when I started getting all these new guitars. But the other day I saw this thing in the light and oh my God, I got stiffer than a priest on Sunday morning. Like, I love this paint job. I like how in a lot of light, it just looks like a really, really dark blue. But once it hits that light just right, this blue pops so nice. And then you can see the flame. And then just like other things that make it unique, like this little mineral line that goes through right here. I've always loved that. It just made me fall in love with this guitar all over again. And I've been playing it so often now. I like that while it is relicking, the top still looks pretty nice. So I'm hoping to keep the top looking as good. But like the sides and the back, I really want them to like age super nice. Ugh. Yeah, this thing just gets me moister than an oyster, like Drew Barrymore at a grunge club. So before we get into the playing, I'm going to list off the specs of this thing, and we're also going to unbox a cool little care package I received that we're going to use throughout the playing demo. And then after we unbox that, we'll get into the playing demo. So the specs. So I'm kind of an idiot. I don't really know the specs on this guitar. I mean, I know like the obvious ones, but I've had it for 8 years, okay? Shut up. What's cool is that Gibson has like these archives. So here's the one for the studios. So it has the modern weight relief, so it's like 9-hole, and then there's like a V right here, and then there's a bunch of cutouts and shit on this thing, which I know is like sacrilege to some people, but I really like how like resonant it made it. So this thing is a Les Paul, so it's got a mahogany body, mahogany neck, maple cap. They say it's figured maple, but it's not like double A or anything, so I'm sure it's just like A. Wait, what? You know, guys, I think this video is actually showing off how much of an idiot I am, more than it's showing off the actual guitar. This thing has a maple neck. I don't know how I didn't know. Like, you can see it. You can see it where it's worn through. Oh, God, how did I graduate high school? How did I not register that the wood that you can see right here is lighter than the mahogany that you can see down here? I'm stupid. You learn new things every day, I guess. But hey, that's cool. That makes it even more unique that it has a maple neck, because not a whole lot of Les Pauls do that. I'm like Robert Baker with his Les Paul KM. I like this newfound knowledge with the 60 Slim Taper, which is, you know, that's amore. It's got Gibson Deluxe Clues-On style tuners. Now, these tuners are good, but they're not the best. They look great. They're not fuck ugly like Grover's, but this guitar does kind of suffer from the stereotypical Gibson manic G and D. I don't know. You fucking guess if I'm going to be in tune. Ailment. Like, it still works, but it's definitely Gibson, and the G and D don't really like to stay in tune that often. It's not like when I'm playing, it's like the G's just going to be like, fuck you, we're not in tune anymore. But it's like when I pick it up, everything will be in tune except the G. This beautiful lady uses Gibson 490R and 490T pickups. They're Alnico 2s, but they're a little bit hotter than like a regular PF, and I really like these pickups. It uses a Tectoid nut. I thought it was a Graphtec nut, but if this video has taught us anything, it's that I don't know shit about this guitar, apparently. Another thing that I really like about this guitar that I think makes it unique is 2014 was one of those years where Gibson was using cryogenically treated frets. I don't know how it works, but like you freeze them, makes them stronger, and these frets have held up fantastic. Now, they don't reiterate what kind of a bridge this is, but I believe it's the Nashville style. According to this, it says it's got 500K nonlinear pots, orange drop capacitors, standard 3-way switch with black tip. They go out of their way to mention that it's a black tip. It's got push-pulls on it because, you know, Jeskowitz era. And then it's got a rosewood neck. This was before CITES came and molested everybody. For good reason, environmentalism is important, but this was only like a year or two before CITES came in and got real tight with everybody, you know, a lot tighter. Unlike your mom. And then I also show like all the other colors this thing came in. I think the only one that comes close to being as cool as this one is the Honey Burst, but this is the best color. Let's not pretend. So yeah, this is my 2014 Les Paul Studio. It's a pretty unique Les Paul. I don't know why I haven't showcased it sooner. I love this guitar. As you can see, this lady here does too. As you can see, back then, these guitars only cost about $1,089. Okay, I need to shut up. Now, before we get into the unboxing and the playing, I just want to say real quick, if you guys go on to enjoy the rest of this video, or if you've enjoyed this video so far, I'd really appreciate it if you help me please my dominatrix, known as the YouTube algorithm, and leave a like. It really helps this video. So does leaving a comment. And about 80% of you that regularly watch this channel aren't subscribed, and I would appreciate it if you would stop, you know, fucking me in the ass and hit the subscribe button. Really helps out. So does joining the channel membership if you're a real big fan of this channel. Tier starts as low as $3 and you get access to exclusive content no one else gets to see. But if that's too much of a commitment for you, there's also that new little thanks button that's down there and you can leave a nice little tip of your dick. But yeah, let's unbox this little mysterious creature that we're unboxing and then let's get into the playing. Now, for those of us that have an Instagram, follow me at DenDenBMX. You may have gotten an ad for some quirky looking picks before. And now it may have been from different brands, but I think the most common one is Rambo Pix. I see these things all the time and I've always wanted to try them, and Rambo was kind enough to send me a care package of a bunch of different kinds of their picks. Let's open it up and let's use some of these for the playing demo. Let's just see what we have. I really like the photography style that these guys use. Oh, it's a cool thank you from the people who actually make these picks. Here's where the action starts. So let's open this smaller one first. This is the tryout mix. Ooh, these are like the eco black ones. And then here is the variety pack. Ooh, here's all the colored ones. Dang, these look cool. And then this is just like an eco black version of everything we just looked at. So I think for the playing demo, I'm gonna try all of these and see how they all play. Huge thank you to Rambo Pix for sending me these variety packs. These are really cool. I can't wait to try them out. Make sure you go give Rambo Pix a follow on Instagram and go check out some of their products. I think it's only a 2-person operation and what they've created here seems pretty damn cool. And yeah, let's finally go play this Les Paul. So we're gonna start with the Rambo Origami, which is this one. I really like this one because it's got like this little like wavy like W pattern in it. It really feels really grippy, but it's only a 0.75, so we'll see how it feels. We are recording, so let's get up in this thing. D's out of tune. You know what that D stands for? It stands for dickhead. So I really like this pick. I like 1.14s. That's what I usually play, and this is a 0.75. So it's just like a little too thin, but I like this one. So this one is the Rambo Waves. This one's got like a little wavy design. This one's kind of cool, but I don't really like the way this one feels. So this one's the Rambo Diamond. It's like a diamond. It's got like this indented little like shape in it, and then there's like a little diamond cut out in it. I like the thickness of this one. This is the Rambo Classic. I believe this is the thinnest one. Yeah, this is only a 4.5. It's so weird playing with a loose, flubby pick. like the grip on this one, but it's so thin. So this is the Rambo Horizon. Now this one is a 1.4, so we'll see how this one plays. Up next is the Dorito. This one's called the Rambo Prisma. This is a 0.8. It's like a throwing star. Just throw this into someone's neck. This one's pretty cool. I like this one. I think I just gotta get used to like how pointy it is. This is the Rambo Crisp, and it's a 1. It's got like a Mercedes logo in it almost. Already I like that grip. I like this one. I like the way this one feels. I could see myself picking this one up pretty often. Now the last one, the Rambo Jade. This big ol' honker's 2.3 mil thick. This is one of them thick boys. It's like my ass. Alright folks, I really like this last one, the Rambo Jade. I also really like this one, the Rambo Crisp. I like the Dorito even though it was a little sharp, even though it's not usually what I use. I really like the thin Rambo Classic. This first one that I used, the Origami, I really like this like wavy grip. I feel like that really helps a lot. I think this one would be my favorite if it was a little bit thicker. So yeah, these Rambo picks are pretty sweet. Big thank you again to Rambo for hooking it up with all these cool picks. I'll definitely be sure to use them in some more videos. And you know what else is pretty cool? This freaking guitar. I love this thing so much. It feels so at home to play it. I love how much it's aged over the years. So yeah, I think that's gonna wrap up the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the playing and the flapping of my gums. Again, if you enjoyed, I'd really appreciate it if you left a like, left a comment. Make sure you're subscribed if you enjoy the content. Hit that bell notification. And if you really enjoy the content and really want to help support the channel, maybe consider joining the channel membership or hitting that little thanks button down there. But for now, thank you guys for watching this video. I'll see you guys next time.